welcome to the Rock Interview Series with host Thomas S. Orwatt Jr.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode number 104 of the Rock Interview Series. I'm Thomas Orwatt Jr. It is June 26th, 2024, and for this feature, I have the legendary guitarist Tracii Guns of the hard rock band LA Guns as my guest. During this episode, Tracii talks about his other project, Sunbomb, which also features Michael Sweet of the band Stryper. Sunbomb will be releasing their second studio record entitled Light Up the Sky on June 28th. In addition, Tracii gives us an update on LA Guns and reveals the date of the upcoming new record. So let's get started. Here is Tracii Guns. Hey everyone, welcome to the Rock Interview Series. And look at the rock icon we have here today with us. None other than Tracii Guns. Tracii, how are you today, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm here talking to you and watching your Led Zeppelin t-shirt. I love it.
Yeah, we got a Led Zeppelin t-shirt. We had the Led Zeppelin concert poster for that promoted the In Through the Outdoor tour that never happened. That
Yeah.
poster that was an ad in the Buffalo News, and the day that came out was the same day that John Bonham died.
Oh,
So
but I was sitting in class at Fairfax High School that day. I remember because it came over the loudspeaker at
um,
Fairfax High School. Like they let everybody know because I think they were scheduled to play the Forum, and I was in 10th grade, and like everybody was getting ready to get tickets for that show, and that's what everybody was talking about. And so the principal came over the loudspeaker. I hate to break the news, John Bonham, the drummer for Led Zeppelin, has passed away today. And you hear the whole school. Oh, it's crazy.
that sounds like a real rock and roll high school you went to. We kind of heard it more on
Absolutely.
the we kind of heard it on the under. It was kind of more underground in my school, but I remember it being like a Friday, and like everybody hearing about it. Yeah.
No good.
Yeah. So Tracii, I want to talk about this new release that you have out. It's not an LA Guns record, but
Yep.
it's another project you're doing. It's called Sunbomb, and it's with Michael Sweet, and this is your second release that you're putting out. It comes out this Friday. Really
Okay.
intense music. I mean, like, this is heavy metal. Your guitar playing and just again like outstanding. Michael
Thank
Sweet's vocals, one of the best vocalists out there.
Yeah.
I always said to my friends, who follow rock music, I always said, LA Guns and Stryper are the two bands from the 80s that really keep getting better and better, like, with
Yeah.
every record. And that now you guys you combined with Michael Sweet. I mean, this is friggin' amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's over the top. It's too much for a lot of people, and I'm fine with that. Yeah. I mean, the thing that Michael and I have in common is that you know you're supposed to get better as the years go on. You're supposed to learn and improve and try stuff and kind of push yourself. And we have that in common. We both strive to be better versions of ourselves. And then we get to do these records together. And like you said in the beginning, complete heavy metal themed music. Which is a blast. I mean, because the teenager in me and the teenager in Michael, we grew up on heavy metal. That was our inspiration more than anything else. Whether it's Iron Maiden, Def Leppard, Van Halen, Priest, Sabbath, Scorpions, all that stuff. That's really in Michael and my DNA. I mean, aside from all the other stuff, classic rock and all that stuff. But we grew up in the time where metal was breaking through. You know what I mean? It was really breaking through, and people were pushing it. And then Randy Rhoads came along, obviously. So it's the love of the music, man. And that's why, for people on the receiving end of the music that are already fans, they're like, wow, we can keep going with these guys because we keep making things that are, heartfelt and authentic.
Yeah, definitely. Now the thing about this is, a lot of these side projects, I guess, if you want to call this, they come out and the fans get really excited about it, but the bands never go out on the road. Is there any chance that you and Michael would ever, go out on the road and promote this?
Well, I mean, I guess the closest way we could do that is if we did an LA Gun Stryper tour, and then we could do a set of Sunbomb songs together. Um, but behind the scenes, the way that our agents work and promoters work and things like that, on this level, because neither Stripe or LA Guns is big enough to really call all the shots on what we do and how we do things, which is very unfortunate for bands of our size. You know what I mean? We kind of get some options, and then we agree and disagree on things, and then that's what we do. Um, but it's not for the love of not wanting to do it, certainly. You know what I mean? We would love to do that. And the work ethic that Michael has and the work ethic that I have are, when you're going to do something, you have to put everything into it. And if we were going to do Sunbomb live, well, that's like basically saying goodbye to LA Guns and Stryper for a while, finding a place in the middle of the United States to get together, hire a live drummer, live bass player, and then seriously rehearse. So it would be a big undertaking. I mean, well worth it, but there's only so much time that you have in a day and a month and a year, and when you're trying to keep your main thing healthy and vibrant and energized, it's hard to split your time and your energy between two equally as important things. One has to be more important than the other.
Yeah, yeah, I can totally understand that. And as an LA Guns fan and a Stryper fan, I wouldn't want that sacrificed either. But
Right.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, yeah, get together with Stryper and let's do this, man. Let's rock
Yeah,
out with. So
that'd be killer.
do you think you could do that? Do it like a co physically play that long, an opening
Um,
set, then a headlining set?
yeah, I think because the energy comes from, there's Sunbomb energy, and then there's LA Guns energy, and then there's Stryper energy, right? So they're different kinds of energies. And the funny thing is as heavy and fast seeming as Sunbomb is, LA Guns is the band that's the energy suck. I mean, it is, especially the earlier stuff. I play that stuff. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, man! Did I have to write this? Did I have to do this? Did I have to, because there's a certain things you got to play, and it goes on, you know, for an hour and a half. It's a great workout. LA Guns is a great workout, but I could definitely do I could do a half hour of Sunbomb before I could do an LA Gun set for sure.
Yeah, I recently saw LA Guns in Buffalo, New York when you opened for KK's Priest. So what was that like, playing with KK on his first US tour?
I mean, there so many things about it were exciting. He's such an icon of the metal scene. The first wave. And the band he had put together is just incredible. And I've been friends with Ripper for a long time. I actually met Ripper when LA Guns played with Judas Priest when he was singing for Priest, in New Jersey a long time ago. And we always had a lot of respect for each other, and we're good friends. So that was one part of it that was great. But we also had Burning Witches was on that bill too, and they bring it. The energy level is intense, and so we kind of tailored our set a little bit more on the heavy side. So, not too many ballads. You know what I mean, in our set. But yeah, the audience for those shows was just off the hook, man. It was something else.
I was asked, so who is better, LA Guns or KK? And that's impossible to answer that
Yeah.
question. It was,
Yeah, they're the best KK. We were the best LA Guns. That's the only way you can describe it. Yeah, very different.
yeah. Now, as far as going out on the road, at this point in your career, do you still enjoy hitting the road, or would you rather like spend time in the studio and, work on LA Guns music and these side projects?
Um, my life is full this way. Kind of splitting the difference. I just finished putting the last touch on the music for the new LA Guns record last night, at 11 o'clock last night, so I need that time, to be able to do the records. But going on tour, man, playing live for me, that's the other side of the coin. It's like, and that's why I keep making records with all these people, because the creative process is, leads into getting excited to go and play live, and with LA Guns, I can throw in riffs from all my other side projects within LA Guns. I combine everything when I play personally, so there are two different kinds of expression. I mean, there's the, sitting in the studio with the microphones and the guitars and all that stuff. And that's that type of expression. That's very private and, kind of, intimate. But playing live is just full exposure. It's full, go for it. The nerves are all jumbled up, and, I never know what I'm going to play every night. And can't have one without the other. I really can't.
Yeah, well, that's cool that you still have that hunger at this point in your career, and it's also cool that you're still making new music. A lot of bands, that have been around as long as LA Guns. I mean, they're just concentrating on the catalog, and you guys are
Yeah.
constantly creating new music, and not just new music, but like I said before, new music that like rivals the classic stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, time goes forward, and the one thing I always paid attention to, with my own personal taste, is that, Satisfaction by the Stones is just as relevant, or to me personally, as the years go on. Every Zeppelin track, so I always try to keep that in mind when I'm writing. It's like, don't try to do something just because it suits today. Would LA Guns fans like this back then? Would they like it now? Will they like it in the future? And everything I do, I kind of have that permanently built-in mindset of, be yourself, lean heavily on your influences, and make new songs. Make new pictures with the. I guess you could say you have 64 crayons, and with those 64 crayons, you could do a million different combinations forever. And that's exactly what I do. That's my addiction.
Yeah. Well, when you look back at the LA Guns catalog, is there any particular record in the catalog that you feel, should have done better, and or you expected to do better than it actually did? I mean, I have my own personal take. I'd actually like to go first, if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
go.
I
Yeah,
think
go ahead.
this record right here,
Oof,
Waking the
yeah,
Dead, I thought it was a monster. I mean,
it
it
is.
was like the first like 5 tracks, and I just rip your head off. And I really absolutely love this record. Now you can go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I'm kind of LA Guns' worst enemy, because I really fear kind of people. You know, People freak me out. You know what I mean? So, the theater setting for me, that size of venue is perfect. Like where you saw us with KK's Priest,
Yeah.
where we play with another band and we can sell 1,500 tickets to 2,500 tickets. I'm really comfortable there, and so when we play smaller places, I get a little bit uncomfortable because people are right in my face. Everybody wants to have a conversation when you play smaller places. It's insane. It's like, yo, I'm fucking playing the guitar, shut the fuck up. Um, but getting into those theaters and having that kind of success has always kind of been where I've been the most comfortable. I love doing support slots, in arenas and things like that, but but it loses the intimacy for me personally as a player. You know what I mean? Like I feed off an audience, and when we do the big shows, they're really fun, and that sound of the audience coming back, when you finish a song or whatever, is really exciting. But it just feels, those bigger things just feel like more like a showcase, and the photos afterwards are impressive, and the sound is impressive and things like that. But I get really nervous. I get really nervous. So I mean, the success of the albums, is the people that it reaches, and how many people are interested every year. And, when Waking the Dead came out, there was no interest, and that's probably why we made such a great record. It's well, we're not going to do what everybody else is doing. We're just going to do the best that LA Guns can do at this point in our career. And I agree with you. It's probably our most focused, best sounding album, by every standard, the songwriting and the sound, the playing, the creativity in the music that's going on. Andy Johns produced it, who is if he's not the greatest producer, he's certainly a muse. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, we've sold over 10 million records now, but it took, like 33 years, so I'll take that. You know what I mean? I can still go to the market most of the time without more than one person, stopping me to have a half-hour conversation, and I'm cool with that. But I don't need to talk, when I'm out in public. I just like being a dude.
Yeah, I get that. I did see one of the other great LA Guns moments that I had was seeing you guys open at the Buffalo Memorial Auditorium in 1991 for AC/DC.
Yeah,
And that
man.
was, I think that was like shortly before this record came out, or just around when this record came out, Hollywood Vampires.
Yeah, that was the Hollywood Vampires tour. Yeah.
Right, but I can't remember if it was before or after. Probably it would make sense that it came out before the tour, but that was another great event. That must have been something else playing, with AC/DC at that
Oh
time. And
yeah. See, those kind of tours are really secure. You know what I mean? It's like you go on stage the same time every night, you eat great catering every night, and you're completely separate from, the public, which offers a certain level of calmness. But it also, when you're not on stage, or if you're not watching AC/DC or whatever the other headliner is, those are long days. It's a wild thing. I mean, that's the money business. It's like, hey, we're going to go fill this arena. We're going to make this money. We're going to sell these T-shirts, and then we're going to do it again 2 days later. And we're going to do it as many times in a row until we want to go home for, a year off, 2 years. We've never been in that position. For us, it's like, make a record, the label and the publicist set up the release of the records. And then we got to coordinate our touring schedule around when a record's going to come out. And it's always been like that for us. And then we just go. So it always feels like you got 1 foot in the trench, 1 foot in the happy place. And that's like really good friction that keeps things burning. It keeps you hungry, and it keeps the money coming in at the same time. And to be able to do that, as a musician, people think of that, they take it for granted that, musicians make all this money at a certain level, and we do, but we got to work, we got to do it. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing is a friend of mine was over yesterday, was talking about some bands that his wife is in the management business, and their bands are more current bands that are doing really well. They're fucking broke, man. It just makes me sad, because it's like, I remember when we put our first 3 records out, millions of dollars coming in, and at our height back then, we were making $1,100 a week each, for a couple of years, plus advances. We would get chunks of money here and there. But even at our biggest, it's tough, and so I don't think people can relate when you see like the guys in U2 and Kiss, and Kiss is a great moneymaker, but Gene will always tell you, hey, when I go out on my own in a stripped down thing and play clubs and theaters, I make way more money than I make in Kiss. And it's because the cost of playing huge places with a full light crew, a full stage crew, full backline crew, union fees, all these things, it's so expensive to do that,
yeah, especially nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah, especially nowadays, and fuel costs too. If you're doing an arena tour, that means you got, at least 3 buses, at least 4 trucks, right? That's the minimum. So the expenses for just having those generators running all day, it adds up insanely fast. But as far as LA Guns go, we've certainly found our balance in the last 5 years. Took a long time to learn, but we're in control now. We have great management, and that's the key. You got to have management that wants more for you. You know what I mean? And they know how to get more for you. When I say more, better quality of venue, better quality of this and that, and more money, and a real plan. And we don't make plans. So somebody else has to do it. So that's where we're at now. The planning has been great.
Yeah. Well, Tracii, I know we don't have much time, but I just want to try to get this last question. When can we expect the new LA Guns record? Is there any like tentative dates for that at this point?
Yeah. Mid-March, right around, we go on the Monsters of Rock cruise in March next year. And the release of the album will coincide with will be our first tour stop is on that cruise. And we moved from Frontiers Records to Cleopatra Records now. And everything's lining up right now, and just going to go do it.
That sounds great. Well, Tracii, thank you very much for your time. It was great to finally talk to you on Zoom, and good luck. And again, congratulations on the Sunbomb record, which was just absolutely amazing. And thanks again.
Thanks.
We'll see you, man.
All right. Have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.